She said it just loud enough for everyone in row 8 to hear. Well, look who it is, Mr. College Dropout. That laugh of hers hadn't changed. It still carried that self-satisfied edge, the same one she wore the day she slid the divorce papers across the table, signing them with a Mont Blanc pen her new husband likely gifted her. The diamond on her finger shimmered under the cabin's LED lighting, and so did her heavily contoured eyes, lifeless beneath all that glamour. I looked at her, then down at my boarding pass. Seat 8A. Window. Her. 8B. Faith's sense of humor, clearly. I gave her a silent nod, nothing more. But inside, I was grinning. Because what she didn't know, what she couldn't even guess, was that I wasn't flying to Los Angeles for business. I was the business. And this flight, this moment, it was the grand finale of a story I'd been quietly rewriting for 2 years. Back then, I was just a guy working out of a garage. A handful of drones. A vision no one took seriously. Not even her. Maybe if you had a real degree, people would actually listen to you, she once told me, after yet another fruitless investor meeting. We met in college. She was sharp suits and family expectations, a future perfectly mapped. I was chaotic energy, obsessed with solving problems no one else even noticed. She loved that about me. Until she didn't. When the money stopped, so did her tolerance. I still remember the rainy Thursday. She was in the shower when her phone buzzed. Just one message preview on the lock screen. Gregory. Bottle with popping cork. Subtle. I didn't say a word. I let the cracks spread on their own. Awkward silences over dinner. Work meetings that went later and later. A perfume that lingered even after she was gone. Then one night, she sat across from me and said it like she was ordering an omelet. I think we've outgrown each other. She walked away with the house, the car, and a shiny new last name, Mrs. Gregory Toland. As in, hedge fund elite. Me. I got branded the dropout guy. Her circle of socialites thought it was hilarious. The nickname even trended briefly online. But the thing about being overlooked? It gives you room to move. Quietly. I started again, far from the spotlight. No interviews, no tweets, just long nights, cold coffee, and lines of code. My breakthrough came with drone software, an autonomous load balancing system for emergency logistics. DARPA noticed first. Then FEMA. By the time I signed with a private aerospace firm, I held multiple patents, had built a tight-knit team, and was sitting on contracts thick enough to stop bullets. Still, I wasn't done. I kept tabs on her. She paraded Gregory like a prize. First-class lounges, ski weekends, gala invites, and, of course, the private jet obsession. That's how I found out about Flight 79. I didn't plan to talk to her. Just knew she'd be on board. Gregory's firm had a summit in LA, and I booked my ticket weeks in advance, through a shell company. Dressed down, cap pulled low, I looked like someone still chasing a silly drone dream. As the plane taxied down the runway, she turned with a smirk. Still trying to make those little helicopters work, huh? I just smiled. Just enjoying the ride. She rolled her eyes and turned back to her mimosa. Half an hour into the flight, the calm hum of the cabin broke with a sudden, crackling interruption. The pilot's voice came through the intercom, jagged, wheezing, then nothing. A hush fell. A child began to cry. One of the flight attendants bolted toward the cockpit. Moments later, her voice came through, strained and trembling. If anyone on board has aviation experience, we need assistance. The captain's unconscious. She turned to me and let out a sharp laugh. Oh, fantastic. What now? You're going to fly the plane, Dropout. I rose from my seat. Her smirk vanished. I stepped into the aisle, walked past rows of stunned passengers and into the cockpit. The pilot was slumped forward, unmoving, eyes rolled back into his skull. The co-pilot was in full panic mode, fingers jabbing at controls as though the buttons could fix everything. I exhaled slowly, slid into the captain's seat, and pulled a compact device from my carry-on. Activate channel. Echo Protocol 1. My voice triggered the system I'd spent years perfecting. A backup solution I once pitched in boardrooms where people barely stifled their laughter. No one was laughing now. The program, a drone-integrated navigation system, sprang to life. It had been designed for moments exactly like this, an emergency response system with automated guidance and precision landing, even under the worst conditions. I had coded every line, stress-tested every variable. I was the safety net. When I stepped back into the cabin, the silence was deafening. 20 minutes later, the plane touched down with barely a bump, smoother than most commercial landings, thanks to satellite routing and my algorithm's steady hand. Cheers erupted. People clapped. Flight attendants thanked me. Reporters soon flooded the terminal. Cameras flashed. Words like hero were thrown around. She just stood there, wide-eyed, not saying a word. By sunrise, headlines everywhere were echoing the story. Unknown tech innovator lands plane after mid-flight medical emergency. But that wasn't the real shock. The Betrayal story broke hours later. Gregory's firm was under federal investigation. SACE had opened a file, triggered by anonymous drone footage capturing insider deals at their last LA summit. Footage my drones had recorded 6 months earlier. Footage I'd uploaded and leaked just 2 hours after we landed. And there she was, her name splashed across every headline. Tolan's wife implicated in corporate scandal. Her voice messages to Gregory had been more than incriminating, they were explosive. By midday, their accounts were frozen. By evening, my company's value had tripled. 2 days later, I stood at the gate for my return flight. She was there too. No makeup, no diamond, just shadows under her eyes. You set me up, she whispered. I looked at her, really looked this time. No, I replied calmly. You handed me the spark. I just stepped back and watched it burn. She didn't follow me onto the plane. I took my seat, 1A this time, by the window again. Same view. But everything had changed. Now the sky was mine. And I wasn't flying coach anymore.